Hello, my dear kiddos. So, today we are going to see the last part 10 of NEET PYQ 2024 paper code R1. Right, the last set of 10 questions. I'm very sure that you all are super excited about it. So, let us begin without any further delay. Here goes the first question. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, Gauss's competitive exclusion principle states that the two closely related species competing for different resources can exist indefinitely. Statement 2, according to Gauss's principle, during competition the inferior will be eliminated. This may be true if resources are limiting. In the light of the above statements, choose the correct answer from the options below. Both statement 1 and 2 are false. Statement 1 true, statement 2 false, statement 1 false, statement 2 true. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Your time starts 3, 2, 1 right now. Okay, so the answer is statement 1 is false. Children, when two closely related species compete for the same resources, they cannot exist. Right? That is what Gauss's principles state. But in the first statement, they are saying when they compete for different resources. No, it should be same resources. So that's why it's false. But statement 2 is true. When the resources are limiting, yes, the inferior one will be eliminated. Yeah, see? So according to Gauss's principle, two species competing for the same resources cannot live together in the same place for a long time. Yeah? Yes, if they are depending on different resources, they can coexist. Yeah. And statement 2, yes, of course, when the resources are limited, the weaker species get eliminated. So the answer is statement 1 false, statement 2 true. Match list 1 with list 2. Again, very simple, very easy. You're learning from grade 10. Exophthalmic goiter, acromegaly, Cushing syndrome, cretinism, list 2. Excess secretion of cortisol, moon phase in hyperglycemia, hypersecretion of thyroid hormone and stunt growth. Hypersecretion of thyroid hormone and protruding eyeballs, excessive secretion of growth hormone. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. Children, first of all, match list 1 and list 2. Ready? Your time starts 3, 2, 1 right now. And here goes the answer. Children, exophthalmic goiter, right? So, goiter, if you see, is because of hypersecretion of thyroid hormone. Exophthalmic goiter is exophthalmic. Ophthalmic means eyes. Eyes are protruding out. So the answer is very clearly there in the word exophthalmic goiter itself. So the answer is 3, hypersecretion of thyroid hormone. Yeah. And then acromegaly. Megaly means enlargement of the digits, the hands and the legs, right? So that is, of course, because of the excessive secretion of the growth hormone. Enlarged limbs, we say. And Cushing syndrome, if you see, excess secretion of cortisol, moon phase, and hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia is high sugar. Cretinism is hypo, low secretion of thyroid, and stunted growth. The growth is not normal. Yeah, the growth is very minimized. So, yeah, that's the answer. I have added the answer slide also. You can see the explanation. Match list 1 with list 2, and this is related to digestive system of cockroach. Okay, list 1, the structure used for storing of food. Ring of 6 to 8 blind tubules at junction of the foregut and midgut. Then a ring of 100 to 150 yellow colored thin filaments at junction of midgut and hindgut. The structure used for grinding the food. So what do you match these four with? Gizzard, gastric, ceca, malpighian tubules, crop. Your time starts 3, 2, 1 right now. Come on, match everything and pick the right option. Here goes the answer. Children, option D. So if you see, the structure which is used for storing food is called the crop, right? That's the storage organ. And the gastric ceca is where they are actually the blind tubules located at the junction of foregut and midgut. This help in secreting digestive enzymes, okay? And Malpighian tubules are involved in excretion and osmoregulation. That you all know, right? Yeah, Malpighian tubules, right? And the gizzard is responsible for grinding the food. Simple. As per ABO blood grouping, blood group of father is B positive and mother is A positive and the child is O positive. The respective genotypes can be what? Look at A, B, C, D, E. If you people are watching my short videos, this is going to be super simple. I have given a beautiful explanation there. I'll tell you now also. See, IBI, IAI, II, IB, IB, IA, IA, II, IAB, IIA, IBI, IAI, IBI, IAI, IIB, IIA, IAIB. Children, first of all, you have to know that okay, you try answering and then I'll give you the explanation. B only, C and B, D and E, A only. Your time starts now. Okay. Children, the answer is A only because what is the genotype of O? It's recessive, right? Small I, small I. So for the child to receive both, for the child to express O, it should have two small i's, which means each parent should have one small I each. So which means their genotype should be heterozygous in nature. Right. So only when father is capital IB and small I and mother is capital IA and small I. And when you draw the Punnett square for these genotypes, right, you will get 25% possibility for a O positive child. Right? Yes. Yeah. If the father and mother are homozygous, they have more homozygous genotypes, then small I cannot occur. Yeah. So the possibility is the parent should be heterozygous in nature. Right. Only then the child can get small I. Okay. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1, RNA polymerase 3, termination of transcription, splicing of exons, Tata box. All these are very simple. List 2, snRNPs, promoter, rho factor, snRNAs and tRNA. Choose the correct answer. Come on. You can do this. 3, 2, 1. Your time starts now. So these questions and all, as soon as you see, you should find the answer. Okay. Such direct questions. Yeah. So A for RNA polymerase, definitely snRNAs and tRNAs. Termination of transcription is by the rho factor. Splicing of exons, snRNPs, and Tata box is a promoter region. So look at this, children. RNA polymerase, it makes tRNAs and snRNAs, right? And termination of transcription, it requires a protein called rho protein. Splicing of exons, of course, is done with the help of snRNPs. What is snRNP? Small nuclear ribonucleoproteins, which remove introns and join the coding paths. That is the exons. Tata box is the promoter region that helps in starting the beginning of the transcription, right? Then match list 1 and list 2. List 1, Mesozoic era, Pterozoic era, and Cenozoic era, Paleozoic era. Okay, list 2, lower invertebrates, fish and amphibia, birds and reptiles, mammals. Choose the correct answer from the options. Children, I want you to match first and then choose the right option. It's a very simple question. Your time starts. 3, 2, 1 right now. Okay, so the answer is option C. Children, Mesozoic era is where, the birds and reptiles were rising. And then Proterozoic era is where the beginning of lower invertebrates started to arise. And then Cenozoic era marked the rise of the mammals. And Paleozoic era, if you see, the emergence of fish and amphibians. Okay? Right. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, the cerebral hemispheres are connected by a nerve tract known as corpus callosum. Statement 2, the brainstem consists of medulla oblongata, pons and cerebrum. Choose the appropriate answer. Statement 1, 2 are incorrect. Statement 1 correct. Statement 2 incorrect. Statement 1 incorrect. 2 correct. Statement 1 and statement 2 both are correct. What do you think? Your time starts now. Yes. Yes, so the answer is, children, statement 1 is true, because if you see, the cerebral hemispheres are connected by the nerve, the bundle of nerves, the nerve fibers, we say, call it as corpus callosum. That is very true. But in the second statement, if you see, the brainstem, midbrain, pons and medulla are the components of the brainstem. But instead they are saying cerebrum. Cerebrum is a part of forebrain, everybody knows that. So that's why statement 2 is incorrect. Regarding the catalytic cycle of an enzyme action, select the correct sequential step. Substrate enzyme complex formation, free enzyme ready to bind another substrate, release of products, chemical bond of substrate broken, substrate binding to active site. Choose the correct sequence. Okay, come on. Very, very simple. Your time starts. 3, 2, 1 right now. Yes, and here goes the answer. Yeah. Children, first of all, the substrate has to go and bind to the active site. Right? What happens thereafter? Substrate enzyme complex is forming. Then what happens? The chemical bonds of the substrate has to break. Only then what get released? The products get released. And then you have the free enzymes ready to bind with another substrate. Very simple steps. And I have given an explanation slide. You can slowly go through. Yeah. Next one. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, mitochondria and chloroplast both are double membrane bound organelles. Okay. Statement 2, inner membrane of mitochondria is relatively less permeable as compared to chloroplast. Okay, in the light of the above statement, choose the appropriate option. This it's very easy, but kind of you have to be careful with the words. Statement 1 and statement 2 are incorrect. Statement 1 correct, statement 2 incorrect, statement 1 incorrect, statement 2 correct. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. What do you think? Your time starts. 3, 2, 1 right now. Okay, great. Here goes the answer. Children, statement 1 is obviously correct. Both mitochondria and chloroplast are double membrane organelles, no doubt about that. But see, if you look at the inner membrane of both mitochondria and chloroplast, they are selectively permeable. They are less permeable, means they are highly selective only. But comparing to chloroplast and mitochondria is much more selective. The inner membrane of mitochondria is much more selective. But here they are saying, comparing to chloroplast, it's not so very selective and all. So that's why the comparison in the second statement is wrong. Okay, that's why statement 2 is incorrect. The following are the statement about non-chordates. Again, if you're following my short videos, this is super simple. Pharynx is perforated by gill slits, notochord is absent, central nervous system is dorsal, heart is dorsal, post anal tail is absent. You have to pick which are the characteristics of non-chordates. Okay, A, B, and D only, B, D, and E only, B, C, D only, A and C only. What do you think? Your time starts. 3, 2, 1 right now. Okay. And the answer B, D, and E only, right? So, children, chordates, if you see, they have pharyngeal gill slits, they have dorsal notochord, they have ventral heart, right? But here, if you see, in non chordates, notochord is absent first of all. If they have heart, it is in the dorsal side. So, heart is dorsal, D is also correct. And post-anal tail is a common characteristic of chordate, not non-chordate. So, E is also correct related to non-chordates. But why, if you see A and C, if you see, pharynx is perforated by gill slit is a character of chordates. Central nervous system is dorsal, that is also in chordates. Okay? Yeah, in case of non-chordates, it's ventral. So, that's why A and C are wrong. B, D, E is the right answer. Okay, with that we are winding up the entire 2024 paper. I hope you all benefited. Children, please, please, please use these slides, keep the timer and take part. You can, this is going to be super helpful for your exams. And I'm really happy if you have thoroughly enjoyed these slides. Yeah. And stay tuned. I'm going to come up with 2023 NEET question paper, and that's going to be the next video. Stay tuned for that. And if you're really enjoying the videos, do like, share, and subscribe. Sharing is caring. And all the very best for your exams. Yeah. Take care. Tata. Bye bye.